So, will artificial intelligence actually replace graphic designers? It's the existential question literally every creative professional is wrestling with right now. There is so much panic, so much hype, and frankly, a lot of denial out there. But today, we're going to use this explainer to take a calm, unflinchingly honest look at what the reality of the industry actually is.
To really understand where we're at, we kind of have to look back at a massive watershed moment. In 2022, an AI-generated image was entered into a fine arts competition, and it won. But here's the kicker. The judges didn't know it was AI. Nobody did. It was completely indistinguishable from high-level human execution. And the second that story broke, it sent an absolute shockwave through the creative world. Every graphic designer on the internet looked at their screen and asked the exact same thing.
Am I next? Let's just sit with that heavy, uncomfortable question for a second. It is the absolute elephant in the room. Because if a machine can fool fine art judges, what does that mean for the person making social media graphics or designing corporate logos? Well, let's unpack it.
Section 1. The death of commodity design and what AI can actually do right now.
Let's be totally honest about the tools sitting right in front of us. Midjourney is out here generating stunning, photorealistic visuals from just a single sentence. Adobe Firefly performs complex image edits, things that used to take hours of tedious masking in mere seconds. Canva's AI can build an entire fully formatted presentation from a basic prompt. DALL-E creates logos, illustrations, and brand assets on demand. What this really means is that a client who just needs a quick social media post doesn't need to email a designer anymore. They open an app on their phone and they get exactly what they need in 30 seconds.
So let's just say it out loud. That part of the job, the fast, simple, repeatable commodity work, it's already gone. Pretending otherwise doesn't help anyone. If your entire business model is based on rapidly churning out basic visual requests, that foundation has permanently shifted.
Section 2. The human advantage, or what AI absolutely cannot do. Because there's a really fundamental difference here. AI generates, but humans think. AI pulls from everything that already exists in its dataset and produces something that mathematically looks right. But you, a human, understands a client's actual business. AI has absolutely no awareness of a target audience. It has zero instinct for what feels trustworthy to a consumer versus what feels cheap or derivative. Think about a logo, for instance. It's not just a cool shape or a pretty icon. It's literally a business's first impression. It carries meaning, history, and pure intention. It needs to work scaled down on a tiny mobile screen and scaled up on a massive highway billboard at the exact same time. And most importantly, a great logo needs to last 10 years without feeling incredibly dated. AI doesn't know any of that context. It doesn't understand longevity, but you do.
Section 3. The executors versus the untouchables and the widening gap in the industry.
Look, there's a very specific type of designer who is in deep trouble right now. We'll call them the executor. This is the person who takes a brief, opens their software, and produces exactly what the client asked for and nothing more. They are essentially just a pair of hands executing instructions. And because their sole value is speed and production, they are being automated out. But compare that to the strategist. This is the designer who asks why before they ever ask what. They push back on a bad brief. They understand that the client's stated problem is rarely their actual problem. They bring a distinct, unique point of view. That designer is untouchable. In fact, they are becoming even more valuable. As AI just floods the market with a sea of average-looking, perfectly acceptable output, the gap between good and truly great is widening astronomically. And the bridge across that gap? It's made of these 4 irreplaceable human traits: strategy, taste, judgment, communication. You literally cannot write a prompt for human taste. You cannot automate the judgment required to know when a design is truly finished. These are the skills that separate the executors from the untouchables.
Section 4. Steps to become untouchable. The crucial shift junior designers need to make today.
Historically, when new software arrived, some designers panicked and flat out refused to learn Photoshop. We all know how that ended for them. Right now, AI is the new Photoshop. So if you're a junior designer trying to figure out how to transition into a strategic role, here is a highly practical 4-step roadmap based on our source material. Step 1. You must master AI tools, but use them strictly for ideation and efficiency, not your final output. Step 2. Build a point of view. Have a recognizable style and a real opinion about your work. Step 3. Specialize in high-stakes industries. Generalists get replaced, specialists get retained. And Step 4. Cultivate real client relationships.
Be the person they actually trust to translate their vague ideas into solid, actionable strategies.
Let's drill down into that first step for a second. Here is the exact tech stack you should be learning right now to aggressively multiply your skills. Midjourney is your new best friend for ideation. Use it to show clients 3 different conceptual directions before you ever spend hours in your actual design software. Trust me, it wins pitches. Adobe Firefly brings generative fill right into your existing Adobe workflow. Runway ML is absolutely crucial because AI-assisted video and motion generation is undeniably the next big wave. And Figma AI is already shaping the future of UI and UX with auto layout and design systems. You aren't learning these tools to replace your craft. You're learning them to become an absolute creative powerhouse.
And regarding step 3, specialization is your shield. You have to plant your flag in industries where context actually matters. Think healthcare, finance, culture, education. In these fields, a wrong visual choice, an inappropriate tone, or a culturally tone-deaf image doesn't just look bad. It has real-world consequences, like regulatory fines or massive public backlash.
And that brings us to a crucial point. AI does not understand consequences. It literally has zero liability. It just generates pixels. Your human judgment is the ultimate competitive advantage because your experience dictates what actually works in the messy, complex, real world versus what simply looks aesthetic on a glowing screen.
Section 5. The honest answer. So, will AI actually replace you?
The unflinching truth is, it already replaced some of you. It has already replaced the commodity work. The designers whose entire value proposition was just speed and thoughtless execution are already out of the game, whether they realize it yet or not. But if you're a designer who actually thinks, the answer is a resounding no. If you consult, if you direct, if you build brands with deep intention and human empathy, you are safe. Not because AI isn't incredibly powerful, it absolutely is, but because true design was never really just about making things look pretty.
As our source material perfectly puts it, design was always about solving problems. And that deep, empathetic, strategic problem-solving is still undeniably a human job. For now. Just let that thought linger for a moment. Keep learning, keep adapting, and I really hope this explainer has given you the clarity you need to navigate the future of design.